big part of the problem is we compare. We're always comparing, right? I compare myself to this Christian or this Christian author, this Christian speaker, this evangelist, this missionary. I wish I could do things as great as them. And we're often comparing, but if we compare, we're always going to go wrong. We will always go wrong if we compare. So you take a look at an apple and an orange, for example, right? Well, you can't compare the two, can you? Right? One's an apple, one's an orange. Now, they're part of the fruit family, but they're two totally different things. You can't compare. And it's same with us, right? Everybody's part of the human family. We're all God's created beings. But you can't compare. Nobody had the parents you had, right? The messages you received growing up with the temperament or the unique self, the personality God gave to you, right? Being male or female, right? We think differently. How we were raised. There's so many dynamics to that. And so as I've traveled all around the world, I've never met one person like another. We're all made uniquely, so we should never compare ourselves to each other. Quite often, what I see is people will judge your spirituality based upon their personality. And what I mean by that, we have thinkers, doers, and feelers. We talk about that in this message, right? We simplify the temperament test, right? God give me a mind to think, thinkers. He gave me emotions to feel, feelers, and give me a will, the ability to choose to do, doers, right? So we have thinkers, feelers, and doers, and some are more dominant. And the doer, he can judge somebody based upon his personality because he likes getting things done. Hey, we got to fill the church. We got to go knock on people's doors. We got to go get people saved. Come on, let's go, right? Because he's about getting it done. But the feeler, that's very intimidating for him. Feelers don't like to be rejected. Feelers are the happy-go-lucky people, right? They would like everybody to get along. They like prayer and share times, right? Doers like evangelism, let's go. And then you have the thinker, who's about making sure our doctrines are aligned. We have good theology, good sound theology, right? We need more study. We need to study our theology. We need more scripture memorization. Well, all three are right, but if I just see through my lens only on how God made me, then I will start to judge somebody else's spirituality based upon my personality. And so it all has to do with who am I? Who am I really? And so we need to discover who we are in Christ. When Jesus died on that cross and he came to give us this new life, as it says in 2 Corinthians 5:17, I have a new identity. The old is gone, the new has come. What does that mean? And so we need to become knowledgeable opponents instead of being bewildered saints. And so we need to know who we are, because I promise you this, if you don't know who you are, I promise somebody else will come along and tell you who you are and you probably won't like it. So that's why we need to know who we are, because other people will dictate that, or you'll let the enemy speak lies. And if you don't know who you are, if you don't know who you are in Christ and who God really is, then you're going to have an identity crisis and you're not going to like it. If you're feeling guilty about something, well, is it from the Lord or is it from the enemy? In Hebrews 10:22, it says we've been sprinkled clean from a guilty conscience. You're no longer guilty. It also says there's now no condemnation for those who are in Christ. If you're feeling condemned, it's not from the Lord. But if you don't know that, you will take those words that condemn you and you'll start to believe it. And it'll fester in your minds and in your hearts, and it'll spiral you right out. You'll just be spiraled out. You'll be a wreck. You'll be anxious. You'll be depressed. Right? When we are children of the God of the universe, and we should carry ourselves around as such, with kindness, with love, right? But with confidence, not because of what we've done, but everything that Christ accomplished on that cross and will now do through us today. So, knowing who you are becomes a very important thing. It's one of the overarching questions when I'm ministering with people is, who are you? Do you know who you are? So you want to discover more about that today, get onto our website, abidinglifecanada.com. Come book in. We can book a conference or a seminar. We'd love to come and talk more with you about that. But we need to know who we are. We want to become knowledgeable opponents instead of bewildered saints. We'll see you next week.